My name is Joseph Barber. I'm a pediatric neurologist and pediatrician in Erie. I live at 200 Gay Road. I've lived there for well over 20 years. I grew up at Penn York Resort, which is directly across. I'm just outside the 1,000-foot limit. My well has not been inspected. I have severe concerns, and I have the same fear that many people in this room have. I'm not going to speak about that fear today, because that's something that you don't have the ability to deal with. What you do have the ability to deal with is your responsibility that you all chose when you decided to take the position that you have taken. My understanding of the position you have is that you are responsible for health, safety, and welfare issues that have to do with our township. I also understand that that's not a time-limited issue. In other words, it's not whether it's there for this month or next month, it's there for next year. It means that you have to regulate issues relating to public health, safety, and welfare. That's a very broad permit that's given to you. When you've been chosen in this responsibility, you've been chosen and given the ability to make decisions that relate to public health, safety, and welfare. In our present state, so much of what goes on with regard to industry is that people believe that the unexpected becomes the expected and then becomes the accepted. No one expected when a company was drilling in the Gulf that a massive oil mistake would happen. But there has been a gradual change in our culture. It's a culture that has started to not self-regulate itself. And when I'm talking about the culture, I'm talking about the business culture. Unfortunately, that puts a responsibility on you all, which I quite honestly do not believe that I might have the ability ever to take on that responsibility, and I give you all unbelievable credit for taking that responsibility. You cannot believe that any company any longer will police itself. The culture is no longer there. Whether there are concerns about this company or not is not the issue. The concern is that you, each of you, have a responsibility to deal with the health, safety, and welfare of every member of our township. And we could sit up here or stand here all day and talk about this company or another company. It does not matter. What matters is whether you believe in your heart. In your heart, you have an awareness that health, safety, and public health are being cared for. I would ask you one question. Do people realize that the biggest risk is not ingesting liquids by mouth that are in your well? It's standing in your shower and breathing it in through your lungs. Your intestines serve as a fantastic barrier to prevent elements from being ingested into your body. They're not great, but they're fairly good. Your lungs, they allow everything to enter. Each person in this room who takes a hot shower from their well is ingesting every compound that's in that water. They stand there, they look up at that fresh, clean water, and that's what they expect. That again puts a responsibility on you all, which is tantamount to life-saving. You have to ask whether every ounce of water that's put down in this well, is it recoverable? And the answer is it's not. Even if that is recoverable is taken to a great place, they are not able to recover a major portion of the liquids that are pumped down into this well. And if it gets down to 6,200 feet and they don't get the adequate gas, he already said that he's going to frack it or have the capability to frack it. They have not told us how much water would be used in the fracking process at that point. They told us how much would be used bringing it up to that time. All I am saying is you have a responsibility. When my children grew up east of 20 Mile, when I grew up walking in 20 Mile, when I see everything that comes out of 20 Mile, I realize that every one of those people that go to Mary Dollar's and rent cottages over the summer, every one of those kids that are playing on those inner tubes, every one of them, they are your responsibility. You have a non-time limited responsibility for the health and welfare of every one of those visitors. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart from taking your time to be a member of this commission and being willing to take on that responsibility. Thank you.